Hey, hey, hey. All right. So, last time I did a little bit of singing. Won't be any singing today, but that's okay. Want to talk a little bit today about two things that we kind of miss when it comes to nutrition. We think about the carbs that we're eating or the fat that we're eating, or just simply not eating at all. But I want to talk today about two parts of nutrition that I think are well overlooked. And the one is something we probably don't think about at all. But first, let's talk about protein. So there's three basic sources of how we get our calories throughout the course of the day. We get them through carbohydrates, through fats, and through proteins. And all calories are not created equal. Not at all. So the amount of calories per gram differs based off of whether it's fat, whether it's protein, or whether it's carbohydrate. Not going to go into all the logistics of that. But we talk so much about carbs and high carb and low carb and no carb and keto. And we talk a lot about fat because there's lots of processed fats, fried foods, all of those things, butter, those things that we like. But we don't talk about protein. And I just want to say that protein is very, very important in your body. It's the amount that's recommended for you to intake depends on your age, on your activity level. It also depends on your health. So being like if you're breastfeeding or if you are working out hard and lifting a lot of weights, or if you're sedentary versus if you're 20 versus when you're 70, there are variations. So it's important to know that as well. But proteins are a building block. They're literally the building block for muscle, for tissue, for organs, for your skin, hair, nails. Basically every cell in the body needs protein, and protein is a building block also for energy. It's a part of ATP. It comes from ATP, all these really fancy words that we use in science to describe protein and how it is so important within the body, and it's the foundation of growth and repair and also maintenance. It's essential for muscle growth and repair, especially during activity and exercise. When we're building up our muscles, we're really actually breaking things down, but then our body has the time to repair, and that's when you see growth and muscles. And it's important in a lot of different enzymes. That's what I was talking about, ATP. So it's important in a lot of enzymes because that's what proteins compose a lot of enzymes that help out with like digestion, metabolism, energy production. So without the proper amount of protein, your body is not able to do those things efficiently and effectively. So also knowing that eating protein makes you feel more full than carbs and fat do. So think about a lot of times people say that they eat sushi or they eat Chinese food because of the rice, and like 20 minutes later they feel hungry again. It's because the carbs don't fill you up the same way that protein does. So if you have a good amount of protein in your diet, this actually will help you with your appetite and support weight management because you feel more full, so you don't have to go eating again in like an hour or two. To be honest, the amount of protein that we eat a day is going to fall well short of what we need. So really what we're aiming for is 1 gram per pound of your ideal body weight. So if I'm trying to weigh 130 pounds, for example, then I would need to try to eat 130 grams of protein per day. That's a lot of protein. I want you to think about how much protein you eat during the course of the day. Like literally, look at what you had for breakfast, how much protein was in there. Did you have eggs? Did you have meat? Did you have like a bread that has protein in it? Did you have a protein shake? Did you have bone broth? Did you have all these things that have protein in it? Because the meal of the day that misses protein the most is breakfast, because most people just have carbs, like a muffin or a bagel that doesn't really have protein in it. Look at your lunch. Would you have like 10, 20 grams of protein? Maybe if you had a hamburger, maybe you got 40, depending on what other things you had and how much. Oftentimes we do get it with dinner because we typically have a meat or bean, a legume, something like that does have protein in it. But really look at what you're eating over the course of the day to see if you're anywhere near the protein your body actually requires and what is recommended. So that's 1 gram per pound of your ideal body weight. I promise you're eating less. But protein also contributes to the formation of collagen and elastin, which these are important structural proteins in our skin and hair and nails, and we want it to be beautiful and all of the things, but we're not eating enough protein. So when we think of protein, we immediately think of like chicken, beef, steak, pork, but there are also some other sources that maybe we don't think of, like beans, lentils, chickpeas, broccoli, tofu, edamame, spinach, eggs, Greek yogurt, chia seeds, quinoa, oats, almonds. And we've got to look at how it's like not every yogurt is created equal. So you have to look at labels and read them and see really how much protein is in here. But those are some other sources that we kind of don't think about. So go back and look at how much protein you should be eating based on the weight that is ideal for your body versus how much you're eating. I promise you need more protein in your life, and there's ways to get it. Secondly, I'm going to talk quickly about hydration, because hydration is so important. Your body is made up of greater than 60% of water. And so just like the world is made of, I think 70% is water. So you have to have water, otherwise it's a drought, right? So it plays a big role in your physiologic functions that you have. Cellular function, it's necessary for the nutrients to transport and for waste to be normal in your body. Constipated if you're not getting enough. Temperature regulation, it's actually okay if you're sweating. That is your body helping to regulate its own temperature in its natural way of cooling down and preventing you from overheating. You've got fluid that causes your joints to be lubricated, so we don't hear those cracking noises and sounds when you bend down to pick things up. So it's in your synovial fluid and lubricates the joints. You hear people that say things are bone on bone. Well, that's because there's no fluid there anymore, right? Then we have digestive health. So you need, again, hydration. You need fluid in order for that stuff to pass through. And dehydration can lead to fatigue. It can lead to headaches, decreased energy levels, all of these things that are so important. It's important for your skin, for you to have the right amount of water, hydration in your system. So it keeps your skin moist and elastic and young looking skin. Mine comes from my genes, but I do drink water too. It helps to prevent kidney stones and UTIs and constipation, as I mentioned before. Your intake again varies depending on your age, your stage in life, your activity level, your gender. Men require more than women. If you're lactating, again, so breastfeeding, you do need more fluids, and also based off of your weight. So the amount of water that you should be ingesting per day is take your weight in pounds, multiply that by 0.5. So if I weigh 120 pounds times 0.5 or half, so half of 120 is 60. So that's how many ounces of water a day I should be drinking. Not the typical 6 to 8 glasses that they say, because for a lot of people, that's actually not enough. So again, 60 ounces would be, well, I don't weigh 120 pounds. So let's just start right there. But anyways, so if you weighed 200 pounds, then your required amount of water per day would be 100 ounces. So we need to get moving, and we need to be drinking a lot more water. I'm not talking about Monsters. I'm not talking about other energy drinks. I'm not talking about soda. I'm not talking about coffee. This is just water. If you don't like the taste of water, get some lemon, some lime, some strawberries, some whatever, and put it in the water. But it's important that you stay hydrated. Your kidneys, your digestive system, all these things are dependent on that fluid. So, you're feeling bloated and all of that. Yeah, because your body has no water. It's stretched beyond what it can do. It's stressed out. So we need to look at the amount of protein that we're eating, and we also need to look at how much we are drinking. And I'm not talking about stuff that has sugar in it. I'm not talking about stuff that has a bunch of calories in it. Although if you want to get an electrolyte packet and throw it in there for the flavor and for the taste, by all means do so. But we've got to stay fluid ready. And when you don't, you'll see those side effects. You'll hear your knees cracking. You'll be constipated. You will notice that your skin is not as vibrant. You'll notice a lot of things, that it feels tight. When I don't drink enough water, I start getting headaches pretty quickly. So it's important that you drink up, pay attention to what's in your cup, and eat protein. If you want any other tips, put it in the comments. I can answer any of the questions that you have to the best of my ability. Wondering if something has protein in it, you can ask me. You don't have to ask Google. So I would love to work with you. I would love to spend more time talking to you. Please feel free to leave comments, questions, concerns, any of that. If this helped you, if it hit you right here or hit you in the gut, I'm sorry. It's because I care.